Washington, a Radio 1 station, unity through music, and worldwide at myspiritdc.com.
The views and opinions of the following paid programming show do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Spirit 1340 WYCB, Radio 1 Incorporated, or their management.
Welcome to the Think on These Things radio talk show. This is a show where we talk about those things that are praiseworthy. We talk about good health. We talk about politics. Now, for today's show, your host, Lyndia Grant.
Well, hello, Washington. We got a big surprise for you today. I guess we call this a coup. Thanks to having some good political friends in the Washington, D.C. area, we're going to have former Mayor Marion Barry on as our guest today. It's Black History Month, and I asked if he would be my guest because he has made history in the city of Washington, D.C., and, in fact, all over our country as a civil rights member of SNCC. So I'm going to give you his background, and a little later I'm going to first open up with the commercial by Jack Olinda, and then we'll be right back, and I'm going to be talking to Council Member Mayor Marion Barry, and I'm also going to have Adrian Washington. We're going to do an interview with him today for the entire show. We'll be back in a moment.
I'm Latrice, the receptionist at the malpractice law firm Jack Olander & Associates. I answer the phone when you call 202-879-7777. Our experienced malpractice trial lawyers, Jack Olander, Harlow Case, Sandra Robinson, and Melissa Ray, are assisted by Dr. Robert Chabon, our of-counsel pediatrician and lawyer, and by our in-house nurse attorney consultant, Leslie Zork, who was a labor and delivery nurse for 10 years. Since Jack Olander won the first multi-million-dollar cerebral palsy case in the country, we concentrate on cerebral palsy and other major injury malpractice cases. You can reach us at 202-879-7777 or jhopc@olander.com. We'll look forward to your call.
All right, and we're back. I want to just say hello to Mr. Barry. I want to hear your voice. Are you there, Mr. Barry?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. And Adrian?
I'm here too. Hi.
All right. Let me
Adrian Washington, how you doing?
All right.
Hey, MB, how you doing? I hear you having a birthday in the month, and we're looking forward to celebrating your birthday.
Yeah, we're going to celebrate 78 wonderful years.
78?
Of living on this earth.
Amen. That is so good.
And prospering, doing well.
Can I just
helping a lot of people.
Mr. Barry, can I just give them 5 minutes of background, and then we're going to talk for the rest of the show?
Okay.
Former Mayor Marion Barry began his public service in 1958 at a time when black men couldn't speak very loudly without being dead or wounded martyrs. But change was on the horizon, and for the young had no fear. Lynchings, beatings, and murders of young men and women ushered in winds of change by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. King's lieutenants, foot soldiers in the civil rights movement, began challenging and confronting bigots and racists in the South head-on. Marion Barry was one of those foot soldiers and instruments of change. He graduated from Lemoyne College, a historical black college, HBCU, in Memphis, Tennessee. Barry was president of the Lemoyne chapter NAACP when he and 3 of his members wrote a letter seeking the removal of Walter Chandler. When Barry learned of the negative statements made by Walter Chandler, a former mayor and congressman, he was also a member of the board of trustees of the college. They wanted to put Barry out of the school without giving him a chance to graduate. The board decided to make Barry an example, but Barry was threatened with dismissal from college with only 2 weeks to go. But the community came to support Barry. In fact, Roy Wilkins, who went on to become the head of the NAACP, supported Mr. Barry. He was allowed to graduate. That was the kickoff of 40, maybe 50 years plus years of public service. a chemistry major, was a founding member of SNCC. Barry became SNCC's first national chairman. He was a sharecropper's son born in Itabena, Mississippi, to Marion Barry Sr. and Mattie Barry on March 6, 1936. He rode in his mother's gunny sack as she picked cotton. The family moved to Memphis when Barry was 8 years old. He was the oldest of 8 children and the only boy. Man, I know he gave the girls a hard time. He received his BA degree from Lemoyne College in 1958. In 1960, he received his master's degree from Fisk University in Nashville. He went on to complete 3 years of coursework in chemistry, but dropped out to work in civil rights. And that is it. The rest is history. I'm going to leave it right there, Mr. Barry. And I just want to also say, with him being a 2-time mayor, we call him the mayor for life of D.C., he...
2 times, 4 times.
3 times, 4 times.
Oh, 4 times? He
That's
did,
right.
He did.
It'll never happen again anytime soon.
Amen. Go ahead, Adrian, and help
Adrian,
us
stop messing with me.
Go ahead, Adrian, and help me interview Mr. Barry,
Listen,
please.
the last
Adrian,
time...
I got you on FaceTime.
I know that. You know what? They keep trying to say, with your 9 lives, they keep trying to have you down and out. And I remember the last time they had you down and out. I came to Howard Hospital to visit you. You remember that? And you looked out at the window and you waved your hand and you said, "How you like the city I built?" And so I said, I love interviewing Marion. And so he said, so I say to you today, what do you think about the city you built now?
Well, what's happening now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, white people are taking over.
Yes.
That's the first thing. Gentrification is all over.
If you were the mayor today, what would be your priority policy?
My priority policy would be to keep people in D.C., those who are without jobs. I'll do all I can to create programs and vision to get jobs. I would keep the summer job program at 40 weeks, at 10 weeks, rather than the miserly 4 to 6 weeks. But I would put jobs, more jobs, and more jobs. I would challenge this white business community. There are 300,000 jobs in the private sector, 300,000 jobs in the white business community. And they don't hire hardly any number, even in construction, black people. So I would make education, skill development. Our kids are dropping out in record numbers. We have a higher dropout rate than we had in I don't know when. They have a lowest.
I want to tell you that every time I show your documentary in my D.C. class in University at District of Columbia, I have to calm my students down because they jump out their seats and they start screaming like they're in the movie or in a cheering section.
So excited.
You're still well remembered for the Summer Youth Job Program. Are you at all worried about what your detractors will say about you once your book comes out, your autobiography?
I don't pay any attention to them. You got distractors. You got people who don't know what I've done. You got those who don't care what I've done. But
what do you want to be your legacy? What do you want your legacy to be?
In the black community, though, Adrian, the Washington Post poll said I was 81% favorability, which is a gigantic number in politics. So, I mean, if I had to do one line about my legacy, it would be that I helped a whole lot of people along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Along a lot of seniors and young people and the unemployed and welfare mothers and all those people.
Well, Mr. Barry, I found a list I wanted to remind people because it's Black History Month. It's called Still I Rise. This is 10 of some of the top things you've done. You helped rebuild D.C.'s downtown. The white people wouldn't be here doing everything they're doing now if it hadn't been for you setting it up. 2, you gave more than 100,000 young people summer jobs. 3, you increased senior citizen involvement and support of senior programs. 4, you decreased racism that affected non-whites. And 5, you provided a catalyst for thousands of jobs for African Americans and others who had been left out, just like you're talking about now. 6, you helped ex-offenders make the transition back into society. And I know because when I did a job training program with Department of Employment Services, I can remember how wonderful that program was and how some of the people were able to get jobs in some of the big law firms and working in print shops and doing things. It was wonderful. 7, you brought D.C. back from a sleepy southern town to a thriving metropolis and cosmopolitan city. And then 8, you provided an example of inspiration and hope that a person can fall and rise again, which is what our show is all about. Anybody can make a mistake, but it's about us getting back up again. 9, you fought constantly and tirelessly for home rule and democracy for D.C. And then 10, you was a booster for the city. You traveled widely spreading the word about what the city had to offer, and you worked closely with business leaders to bring increased commerce and recognition to this great city of Washington, D.C. So I wanted to just remind people that's just some of it. Adrian, continue, please.
Lyndia, you've done your homework very well.
Yes, I did. I was so thrilled because I wanted to give this to you as a tribute. It's Black History Month. You have been sick, and I want you to tell people how you've been doing, how you doing.
Incidentally, Black History ought to be all year.
Yes, it should.
We've done so much to help build this country. There were black people helping to build the capital, the United States of America. These carpenters and other construction people doing that. And we could just go right on down.
That's right.
To the red light was built, done by a black person. And so we just need to instill in our young people that we are a mighty people.
Mm-hmm.
Any group of people that can survive slavery and all of its brutality can survive anything.
And you know what?
Well, I think what a lot of people want to know is how you are really doing, where you are right now, how they can contact you, because the biggest question right now, to be honest, is just how well you are or how.
Well, let us have our AmeriHealth question, and then he's going to come right back. It's fitting perfect. We're going to have a commercial by AmeriHealth, and then we're going to hear Mr. Barry talk about how his health is. Back in a moment.
Thank you very much.
AmeriHealth District of Columbia now offers the benefits, services, and commitment of chartered health plans. AmeriHealth District of Columbia, still the one for healthcare services like transportation, to and from appointments and prescription drug coverage. Still the one for vision care and dental care. And still the one for the personal support and high-touch community outreach you've come to expect. To join AmeriHealth DC, call 202-639-4030 or visit us at AmeriHealthDC.com. This program is funded in part by the government of the District of Columbia Department of Healthcare Finance, Mayor Vincent D. Gray.